Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Up close and personal once again. It is our 3-year YouTube anniversary. Woohoo! Yes, 3-year milestone. And to commemorate this milestone, I wanted to do a full in-depth Q&A. I have been collecting questions from all of you over the past couple of weeks, and I have a whole list here. I typed it all out. I've got 76 different questions. Some of them are very similar, so I'm going to group them as best as I can. But the questions range from personal, family background, to travel related questions, money, handbags, of course, lots of questions about handbags, and I do have some eye candy for you to show in the video as well. Some questions about jewelry, my hair, YouTube, and some random miscellaneous questions as well. I'm going to try my best to get to all of them. I'm not going to ramble on and on if I can help it. So first question, what is the best number of bags for a sensible collection? I think I've lost my senses along the way. You know, you guys are very complimentary and you say, oh, you're so balanced and you're so mindful and somewhat minimalist. I think I have lost my senses along the way. I have more bags than I need. I think a sensible number is like 5. You know, back in the day, like years ago, I had maybe 2 or 3 designer handbags and then 2 or 3 non-designer handbags. So it was like, what, 5 or 6? And that was more than enough for me. You need like one tote, maybe a backpack for specific occasions like hiking or going outdoors to the playground or something with your kids. And then a crossbody bag so you can be hands-free, especially when you're traveling or in crowded areas. Maybe a nice evening clutch or a shoulder bag. And that's pretty much it. So yeah, that would be sensible. How often do you treat yourself to luxury? I don't really have like a specific time frame or a specific number of times throughout the year. I just do, but you guys know I try to take care of my priorities first, and then with what's left over is when I will indulge with the luxuries. Is the Chanel wallet-on chain worth it? Yeah, for me it is. Here's mine. Oh, I've got the black felt still in here. Let me take this out. So I love the Walk. I'm a huge fan of the Walk. This is the original version, black caviar, silver hardware. Original meaning it has the snap closure. I also have this one here, which is the filigree version, and it has the magnetic closure. I love both, and the fact that I have duplicated in my collection with 2 Walks tells me that I do think that they are worth it. They're quite pricey for what they are, but I don't carry a lot, so if you're like me and you only carry a little bit, you know, your bare essentials on a day-to-day, this bag is pretty versatile. You can use it day, evening, casual, formal. You can tuck in the chain, use it as a clutch. You can wrap the chain around. I've shown that many times in other videos to wear it shoulder, short shoulder, longer, crossbody. So I like the Walk. Do I think it's worth it for you? That's a personal question. That's very, very subjective. You would have to answer that. Although I do have a really nice affordable or a more affordable option, which is the Mulberry wallet-on chain, which I have talked about in my affordable alternatives video. Now, that one it's not cheap either, but it is under $1,000, and it looks almost identical to the Chanel one. So go check out my affordable alternatives video if you haven't already. Next, thoughts on the multi-pochette accessoire in Empreinte. The price on that went up so much. Okay, yeah, so Louis Vuitton prices have been out of control. We all know that. I've been tracking the price increases. I try to share out whenever I see updates on the prices. The multi-pochette is not my style. I've never been a fan of the multi-pochette from day one, and it never grew on me. I think it's just got too much going on, too many different pouches and compartments. It feels like a bunch of SLGs kind of slapped together. I have this one here, which is just the pochette, the pochette accessoire, and I think this is perfect. But if you like the multi-pochette, then yeah, go for it. I don't own any Empreinte leather pieces from Louis Vuitton. I'm more a fan of their canvas. So again, that would be kind of a personal question for you to decide if it's worth it for you or not. Could you create a packing trip with essentials and tips? Okay, so I am going back to London very, very soon actually, so I will film what I pack for that trip, and it'll be all of my travel essentials in that video, so stay tuned. That will be coming up very, very soon. Have you ever considered moving out of the city, New York City? Yes, my husband and I have talked about it and thought about it a lot, especially when our children were babies, and then when they started going into school, we were like, oh, we don't know about the school system, but at the end of the day, New York City is our home. It's our gritty home. It's our home sweet home. Whenever we travel, when we come back, we're so happy because we love it here. We feel like it's the best city on the planet, but we're biased. So we have considered it, but it's probably not going to happen in the near future. We do love raising our kids here in the city. We talk about buying property somewhere else, maybe as a second home. That's kind of something that we mull over from time to time, but this is our true home. Okay, which luxury products do you consider not worth it? For me right now, what I'm learning is designer luxury sneakers. Oh, my hair is like falling out. Designer sneakers, I have like 2 or 3 pairs and I'm feeling like they're just not worth the money. They might look cute, but my Nikes and my Adidas sneakers and my Cole Haan sneakers, which are my favorite, are just doing fine. So I don't think they're really worth it for me. What got you started with luxury bags? It was actually my mom, yes. So when I was about 13 years old, my mom gifted me a tiny little Coach bag. I should grab it actually. It's with my daughter now. It's in her room. My mom actually saved it for her. Tiny little patent leather, kind of like a beigey gold color, little bag with a short shoulder strap. And she got that for me when I graduated in 8th grade, I believe. That's what she says. Her memory is probably better than mine. And then when I was in college, my mom said, well, now you're a grown-up young lady, you're a college student, you need a nice proper bag. So we went to Gucci and I bought my first bag. I also bought her first Gucci bag. So that's how it all kind of started, ironically. What motivates you to collect? So I don't really consider myself a collector. I use all of my items, and if I find that I'm not using them, I really start to think like, should I let it go? And oftentimes I do. So what motivates me to collect is just the enjoyment of using the items. Again, I'm not really there to just collect. Okay, any fall or winter bags on your list? How about for 2023? So I don't have any fall winter bags on my list, only because I don't make luxury wish lists. I have a whole video on explaining why I don't do that. I'll link it up above if you missed it. But there are some bags that I think are super cute that I've just recently released. Remember, I did a video recently on the 12 most hideous bags that I saw released this fall. I think I might follow up soon with a video talking about some of the prettier bags that are really catching my eye, that I'm admiring, but I'm admiring from afar because I'm not right now in the headspace of like wanting to add much more at this point. So no list. What do you have planned for the future of your channel? So we are bouncing around a little bit, sorry guys, but I love the questions that you guys asked, especially this one here. The future of my channel, I'm thinking about this so often. I want it to be organic and natural, and I want to talk about topics that come to me just when they come to me. So not a lot of it is super planned, especially if there are fashion related news and updates in the industry. I want to be real time, especially price increases, new releases, things like that. So I'll just pop in and make a video. But I do want to, one, share more about myself while staying private. I want to get a little bit more personal, a little bit more intimate with you guys, share a bit more about different areas of my life outside of luxury and handbags and fashion. So that is something that I am planning for the new year. And then I also want to get a little bit more creative with how I play around with content and editing. You guys see that I'm up close and personal. I haven't done this in a while. Usually it was just my hands for the past 2 years. So I'm going to be a little bit more playful, and you're probably going to see a little bit more about my personality because I'm not just like this, polite, I don't know, everyone says, oh, you have such a nice voice and you're so polite. That's great, thank you, I appreciate that. But I have also kooky sides of me that I want to show, and messy sides of me too, by the way. What do you use as a mic for your videos? Sounds so clear. Okay, so the mic is really important, but what's more important, I think, is this here. Okay, I don't know if I sound different now, but this is the dead cat. It's like this furry little thing, and you basically put it over the microphone. And it is meant to really help kind of filter out some of the ancillary outside noise around me. And there's so much noise around me with sirens and construction. You guys probably hear it from time to time. And then also help kind of like zone in on my voice. So it makes it a little bit clearer. So the dead cat is really important. How do you keep so slim? I attribute it to genetics. It's nothing that I do. I was born this way. My mom is very slim. I've been slim my whole life, to the point where when I was younger, my parents used to worry about me because they thought I was too skinny and weak. I'm much healthier now, stronger stronger now after having my kids. They have made me stronger, and I do walk a lot and I do Pilates, which I love, so that helps me to stay fit. But you know, my body is what God gave me. Any bag that is no longer favored by you. I think no longer favored may be a little bit harsh, but this one here, my ABC Lady Dior, beautiful, right? In the blush color, small size. It's really pretty, but you guys know if you've been on my channel for a while that I've had sort of a love-hate relationship with this bag from the beginning, and sometimes it's a little bit more towards the hate. That's a strong word, but I'm just using it to prove my point. And sometimes I really, really adore it. So I think if I had to choose one bag in my collection right now that it's kind of like questionable, it would be the Lady Dior. Bags you will for sure hand down to your daughter. Okay, so I have a 12-year-old daughter, and she could literally have any bag she wants in my collection. I don't really care which one it is. She can have any of them. She plays with them when she wants to. I do believe that when she gets older, she's going to have different taste and style of her own, and she's not necessarily going to want my old bags, like mom's old bags that have been, you know, sitting there for years or decades. I also think that she'll make her own money, and it'll be really gratifying for her to treat herself to things that she likes versus me just passing everything down to her. But if she wants them, she can have them. She has not claimed any specific one. According to her, this is one of the prettiest bags in my collection. She also loves the jumbo. For some reason, she's like this petite little girl, but she loves the Chanel jumbo. But she hasn't like claimed any other bags. Favorite Coach bags. Okay, so I'm gonna name the one that I actually own, so I'm biased here. It's this one, which I really wish they would bring back. It's the Coach Rambler 16 size, so it's the mini, and I think it's so cute, and my mom loved it so much too, so I bought her one, and so we have the exact same bag. And I actually bought her the Coach Cassie at first, and then she saw this and said she preferred this, so we returned the Coach. Oh no, I didn't return the Coach Cassie. I sold it to one of you guys. And then I got her this one. So it's got a little back pocket. It's got a nice little crossbody strap. And it's the glove tanned leather, which is my favorite from Coach. I absolutely love. That's what they're known for, the glove tanned leather. And I just think it's so simple and cute. I really want them to bring this back. I also felt the pillowy tabby bags in the store a few times, and they're super, super soft and really like smushy and nice. So I like those too. All right, next, do you like any Tory Burch bags? Do I like any Tory Burch bags? All I carried were Tory Burch bags for years when my kids were younger. Let me grab. So this one here is a coated canvas tote from Tory Burch, and it is over 10 years old. You could see the corners are worn, and I wore this thing like to pieces. I wore it so much. And then this is one of my favorites, this beautiful blue color here in like almost like a Saffiano leather, very durable. This too is probably 10 years old or more, and it's got kind of like a wallet on chain style with the compartments, and then it has the crossbody strap. Yeah, and you can use it as a clutch too. I think Tory Burch makes some really, really nice bags, really, really durable, and the price is pretty good. Here's another like little envelope style pouch slash clutch I've had forever. My daughter actually loves these two, and she's specifically asked me to save them for her. So actually, speaking of which bags I'll be handing down, these she's already claimed, like she thinks they're hers. All right, we've got a Chanel question. It says, for your first classic flap, would you recommend caviar, lambskin, or tweed? Okay, right off the bat, I'm going to NYX tweed. I love this tweed. It's gorgeous. I think Chanel makes beautiful tweed, but if it's your first classic flap, I would say no, because this is very seasonal. This is very much fall winter. You can't really rock this in the spring summer. It looks hot. It feels hot, and it's fabric. It can get dirty. So for your first one, I would say definitely not tweed. If you're going for a bigger bag like the jumbo, I think caviar is perfectly fine. I think it's durable and it feels nice, and I love caviar. I think if you're going for a medium size, caviar is fine too. If you're going for something smaller, like you didn't specify in the question, but if you're going for a mini, I think lambskin is so luxurious. I would prefer lambskin over caviar any day. However, I would recommend it in a smaller size because, you know, if it gets bumped around, it's a little bit more delicate. It's not actually as delicate as many people say, but it's a little bit more delicate than caviar. So I wouldn't want a jumbo size lambskin bag, but if you're going for a mini or even a small classic flap, but I think the safest bet is caviar. All right, where do you shop for clothes? I am all over the place when it comes to clothes. I don't even know where this is from. I'd have to check. But I go to J. Crew, Club Monaco. I love Max Mara, Maj, Kenzo. These are French brands. Theory, I'm a fan of. Vince, love their sweaters and like long cardigans. And Aqua, I noticed that I find a lot of cute dresses and tops from Aqua, like at places at Nordstrom, I think, or Bloomingdale's. But I'm literally all over the place. I also own clothing from Korean brands. A lot of my clothes are from years and years ago, so I cannot give you links. A lot of times people are like, oh, that's so cute. Can you tell me where you got it and link it? And I'm like, it's not in season. I bought this like, I don't know, 4 years ago or sometimes like 10 years ago. I take really good care of my clothes, so I don't shop for clothes all that often. Okay, now we have an Hermes question. I've been dreaming of getting an Hermes garden party for the last year. Have you ever considered buying one? I haven't considered buying one. It's not my style of bag. I prefer crossbody bags mostly, and then when it comes to being a tote, I prefer for it to have a longer strap so I can sling it on my shoulder. The big thing for me is that I really want to be hands-free, usually because I'm with my kids. I think it's a very simple, classic looking silhouette, and there's nothing wrong with the garden party. My friend has one. It looks super cute every time she wears it, but I personally have not considered it for myself. Oh, this is an interesting question. Is there a luxury brand that you believe will lose value or not hold value in the future? Yes. There are probably a few different brands, but the first one that comes to mind is Bottega Veneta. Bottega bags don't hold their value in general, so if you look at their old classic styles that are beautiful with that, small woven leather, beautiful, beautiful. The artistry behind it, the craftsmanship, and the quality of the leathers are really amazing from Bottega. But if you look at the resale market, all of their bags are so heavily marked down, you just cannot get your money back. And you can definitely get a bargain by purchasing pre-loved Bottega. Even the newer styles, I feel like they're very, very trendy and in right now, but in a year or two, they're definitely not going to hold their value. That's my opinion. Okay, we've got a kid question. Are your kids in private or public schools? My kids are both in private school. I said I would try to group these questions, but I'm literally all over the place. The questions are all over the place, so I'm just going to go with it. Hope you guys don't mind. Okay. This question says, I've been hooked on the brand Demeliere. I hope I'm pronouncing that okay. Demeliere, London, recently. I wonder if you've explored this brand. I would really love to know what you think of them. So I am somewhat familiar with them. Maybe when I go back to London soon, I will check them out again in person. Not again. I'll check them out in person. So far, I've only seen them online. So unfortunately, I don't really have much of an opinion because I haven't done enough research on the brand. All right, this question asks, can you do a video about designer belts? I can, but it'll be the world's shortest YouTube video probably because I only own 2 designer belts and they're exactly the same. It's this belt here from Hermes. It's the Kelly 18 belt and it just snaps like this. I have 2. This one is black Epsom with gold hardware, and then I have the gold Epsom with rose gold hardware, and I actually got the other one first and then I bought this one. I love this because it's so simple and classic and it can be worn with pants or dresses or skirts. It's really versatile, but what I really love about it is the fact that it adjusts within itself. There are no holes necessary, so you can make it, longer or shorter, and so you can wear it higher up, lower down. You can wear it even if you gain weight or lose weight. I think it's just perfect. This is my favorite belt. That's why I say I don't plan on adding any more because I have 2 of these. I don't need more than 2 belts. There is an alternative made by Mulberry that is much cheaper and it has the same function where it adjusts within itself, and I think it's beautiful. It's a little bit wider. I think it's just really lovely. So I will link that down below, and it is featured in my affordable alternatives video somewhere if you watch that. Okay, now we talk about my hair. I got a bunch of questions about my hair, probably because I have been featuring, or not featuring, I've been showing myself up to my neck lately. In the past, I got a lot of questions about my hand care, nail care, and now that I'm showing my hair, questions about hair care. I understand. This hair on purpose, I did nothing with it today. This is just, I wash my hair in the evenings, so I washed it last night and then I just blow dried it, but I don't like, this is not like the nice blow drying with the curl and all of that. I just blow dried it and then I put it in a bun in the mornings, like a loose bun with a scrunchie, and then I just pull it out and this is what it looks like. So this is like the really minimally styled version. I did this on purpose because I didn't want it to be like a really pretty blown out hairstyle for this video, and then you guys are like, what did you do? This is the natural. So my hair is not that amazing, to be honest with you. I have a lot of hair, you guys. Many of you asked me about this and saying like, how is it so voluminous and lush, some of you said, which is really kind, but I was just born with a lot of hair. Again, it's genetics. This is how God made me. My mom has a lot of hair, and I'm going to insert a photo of my daughter when she was a baby because she came out born with like a pompadour. I'm not kidding. It looked like she was wearing a wig. So we just have a lot of hair. The one thing I will say, though, is that I've worked to make my hair softer and shinier over the years. Right now it's not looking so shiny because I've not done anything to it, but usually when I do flat iron at the end, it looks a little bit shinier. And I've changed my shampoo and conditioner to only Korean or Japanese brands. If I can find them online, I'll link them down below. I usually get them from my salons. And I've stayed away from like the cheap drugstore brands. I used Pantene for many years and I think it destroyed my hair. So no more drugstore brands. And the last thing I will say is I wash my hair less. So I used to wash my hair pretty much every day, and then I realized it was totally drying out. It was making my hair dry, coarse, and dull. And so now I wash my hair probably like every 2 or 3 days. Yes. And it's better. But this is freshly washed, which is why it does look dull. It'll look better tomorrow, I'm telling you. It'll be a little dirtier, but it'll also be shinier and prettier. Okay, that's it about my hair. What are your favorite hobbies outside of handbags? Okay, my favorite hobby is reading. I love to read. Let me see what's here. So right now, reading this is something that I just got into. If you are a Christian, I happen to be Christian, and it's like I could read a little bit of it every single day. It's a handbook to prayer. And then I started reading this one because I haven't had a lot of time these days, so this is just short stories, really, really inspiring, cute, and warm-hearted short stories. But usually I read novels, autobiographies. I read a lot of nonfiction books. I read a lot. I used to hoard books until I discovered the beauty of the public library, and now I try to borrow as much as I can so that I don't have books burying me in the house. I also love travel. My family and I, we've been traveling as often as possible, and we started traveling when my daughter was a baby, an infant, like all over the place. Pilates, I don't know if that's a hobby, but I am not the kind of person that likes to exercise. I just walk a lot. That's part of my lifestyle. But if you tell me to get on a treadmill or lift weights or do anything like that, I will run away from you. So Pilates is something I discovered in the last couple of years, and I am obsessed. I do reformer Pilates. So again, I don't know if this is considered a hobby, but it is totally an outlet for me, and it keeps me feeling really good. And then this too, I don't know if it's considered a hobby, but I am super passionate about personal finance, financial empowerment, financial education. So I read about those topics. I watch videos on those topics. I talk a lot about those things with friends and family members. And I love shows like Shark Tank, anything that's like entrepreneurial, where people come up with cool, creative ways to either invest their money or make money. I love that stuff. Very similar question. Do you have any hobbies outside of bags and jewelry? It's funny because I don't think bags and jewelry are hobbies. They're just my possessions. Do you like sport, knitting? Sports, I am not a sporty gal. I wish I was. And knitting, no, I don't think I have the patience for knitting, although I do sew. Like I mend my kids' stuff, you know, when their clothes tear, like their favorite stuffy rips, like I will sew, but that's not a hobby really. It's out of necessity because they make me sew their stuff. All right, another Hermes question. Can you do a shopping vlog when the new Hermes flagship store opens up in NYC? So yeah, if you guys haven't heard, they are opening up a new Hermes flagship store. It's going to be massive. It's going to have a rooftop and I think a cafe, either for the employees or the clients or both. Anyway, my sales associate was talking about it. It hasn't opened yet. Sure, if I visit anytime soon, then happy to vlog, but I'll be very discreet. I'm not the kind of vlogger that like talks and like, oh guys, look at this. Like, I'm very, very quiet about it. I don't want to disturb anyone. I don't want to be obnoxious about it. So I might just take a little bit of footage and then do voiceover when I get home. So it's not going to be like a massive vlog, but I will try my best. All right, back to Chanel, bouncing. Need some help in deciding. I've been wanting a Chanel classic flap since college. That's been more than 10 years now, she says. And because of the price increase, I'm quite hesitant. I know I'll be getting it no matter what. Question is, would you recommend me getting it now or wait for another few years? Or would you say I should move on and check on other bags? Oh, wow. Okay. So if you know you'll be getting it no matter what, if you have the funds and it's not going to create financial hardship, I say might as well get it now because A, prices are only going to go up. B, quality is going down. 2, facts. If you're quite hesitant, which is what you say, then it may not be worth it for you, whether it be now or 10 years down the road. It just may not be worth it to you. So don't like force it. And there are plenty of beautiful bags out there. But if you are a huge diehard Chanel Classic Flap fan or you're a huge Chanel fan and you want to have that bag, I understand, then I would say better now than later. But again, if you have the funds, it's not worth going into debt for and paying interest on it and stuff like that because might as well buy it later then. Probably be the same price. Interest now versus price increase later. Hope that helps. Okay, I got a lot of questions about jewelry. Could you do a video on your jewelry? I'd like to see all your jewelry. Could you film a video on your jewelry collection? Lots of jewelry questions. I did do a separate video on all of my Hermes bracelets, but my whole jewelry collection, number one, that's going to take me a lot of time. I have jewelry that dates back to when I was a teenager that my parents bought me, and then I have lots of jewelry that my husband gifted me, and then I've got other jewelry from other family members that, so it's a lot, but none of them are branded. So while they'll be pretty eye candy, you won't be able to buy them. A lot of them are actually custom made or designed from pieces of like my husband's grandmother's jewelry that she used to wear. They're all very special. The other thing is I'm like too lazy to pull it all out. They're precious, so I don't want to pull it all out and then film, have a huge mess, and then have to put it all back because I have it all like neatly organized. So I'll have to think about that. The best I think I can do is maybe wear some of my jewelry now that I'm showing a little bit more of myself. Maybe I can wear some of the necklaces and earrings. They're quite blingy though, so I honestly don't wear them on a day-to-day basis. They're just valuables that I have at the moment, and I probably will pass them on to my daughter and also my son's future wife and maybe my grandchildren in the future, but they're like, I usually wear more this stuff. Okay. Oh, this is another jewelry related question. How do you feel about mixing metals? I see that in your video you're wearing a steel watch. Oh, that was my Cartier watch. I'm not wearing it today, with a gold bracelet. Yeah, I love mixing metals. As you can see, my Cartier band here, if you can see, it's got yellow gold, rose gold, and white gold. And then I've got platinum and white gold on top. And then this one is custom made and it's rose gold, yellow gold, and white gold, again with black diamonds. I love mixing metals. I'm not a big matchy-matchy person, especially when it comes to jewelry. I feel like it kind of falls flat. There's no like dimension or life to jewelry when it's all the same metal color. I'm also not matchy-matchy with my nail polish. Like my manicure never matches my pedicure. I just like to mix it up a bit. All right, I'm curious if you're still interested in trying a Strathberry bag. So there was a Strathberry bag that I was very interested in, but some of you pointed out to me that there were little design elements that would probably get on my nerves, and so I reconsidered. Also, I have not had a chance to see Strathberry bags in person. I've only seen them online. I'm still interested, but I'd like to see them in person. This person says that she loves her Strathberry bag, so that is great to hear. Back to Hermes, would love to hear more about your wish list items for Hermes. Again, I don't create luxury wish lists. I talked about that before. I don't have an Hermes wish list. I already have the Hermes Mini Eveline bag, which was the first ever bag that I really wanted from Hermes. That was my first choice. Then I got my Birkin 30, and then I got my Kelly 28. And then I really do love their bracelets and jewelry and their scarves. There were a pair of sneakers that I wanted, but my size is nowhere to be found, so I have just let that go. But yeah, I don't really have a list. Next person says, what would be your next 2 Hermes bags? I don't think there are no other Hermes bags that I want at this point. I'm not the kind of person that's like, since I have a Birkin 30, now I want a Birkin 25 and then a Birkin 35. And no, 30 was my first choice, happy with that. Same with the Kelly. You guys know I went back and forth quite a bit and I did a lot of research and I tried them on and I finally decided I wanted a Kelly 28 size in the Retourné, which is what I requested, and thankfully that is what I got. So I feel no motivation to go ahead and add another Kelly of any other size or a Cellier version, because what I really wanted was the 28 in Red Tournay. So that's it. I'm not going for the mini Kelly. I know people are going crazy for the mini Kelly right now. Then there are other bags like the Picotin and the Lindy. Someone mentioned earlier the Garden Party. Those bags are all fine. They don't get me super excited. So I'm not really going out of my way to ask for anything. What are your thoughts on purse piece? Oh my gosh, this question came up before in my first round of Q&A. Oh, what was it, a year or two ago? I think it was a while ago. That first Q&A was super in-depth. My thoughts on purse piece, I used this example last time. So purse piece, I think, is real. There are plenty of people out there who feel very much at peace with the number of handbags that they have, and they're very happy with the ones they chose. I liken it to like the digestion process. I know it's weird. When you digest food, like you're really satisfied with what you just ate, so you don't really have eyes for more food. You don't have space for more food. You feel really abundantly full, and so you're just content. I think that's what purse piece feels like. And then maybe once you digest, however long that takes, you might start to get hungry again. So I think for true handbag enthusiasts like us, for most of us who are watching this channel, that is what happens. But I think that process can be very, very long, meaning like that process of feeling full and content can go on for years even. I also think of it as like job piece. You can have an amazing job that you absolutely love. It's very fulfilling. You feel like it gives you meaning. It's challenging. You're good at it. You're helping people or whatever the case might be. And you love your job and you're not looking. You're not looking to move. You're not looking for another job. But then somehow an even better job appears on your front door and you're like, whoa, this job sounds phenomenal. That's kind of how I feel about a handbag. You're like, I'm good, until you see, whoa, what's that? Oh, well, that I haven't seen before. And so even job piece one moment can turn into, well, I kind of want the next thing. And then you can be at peace at that next thing for a long period of time too. So that's how I see it. I don't see peace as like a permanent state unless you are like this really, really Zen master. I feel like peace is something you're always working towards, and you lose it sometimes and then you get it back, and it's something to just be conscious of. Oh my gosh, I love this question. What is your favorite way to show your family you love them? I am a big believer in the 5 love languages. If you haven't read that book, it's a good book. My husband and I read it together, and it basically talks about how everyone likes to receive love in different ways. And so for me, I like to give love by spending time, and especially traveling together. You guys know I like to travel separately sometimes with just my daughter or just my son. Like, I put a lot of time and effort into travel, quality time, but I know that different members of my family like different things. So my husband and I, we bond over talking. We spend a lot of time talking and chatting and getting to know what we did throughout the day when we were separate, things like that. For my kids, affection is really important. So hugs and kisses and cuddles. When they were younger, reading to them was our time where I showed them a lot of love that way. And now that both my kids are kind of like preteen, I think the biggest way I can show them that I love them is that I listen to them. I feel like there was a lot of me telling them, me instructing them, me guiding them over the years. And now I feel like there's this shift where like I just have to be, and I have to be present and listen and absorb, understand what their experiences are and what they're going through and what they're feeling. And I'm trying very hard at doing that. But thank you for that awesome question. Oh, this question's a little bit controversial. This person asks, I've seen a dupe of the Mini Kelly. We were just talking about the Mini Kelly. And I'm so close to getting it. What are your thoughts on dupes? I just don't know if the Hermes Mini Kelly is worth the journey, particularly if I'm not sure how often I can wear it. So I am fine with dupes. There are so many brands that basically steal and copy ideas from each other, and they all inspire one another. Even at the high-end luxury brand level, they're always like inspiring and basically copying from each other. So dupes are fine, because if you're not sure you want to invest in an expensive bag, and I use the word invest loosely here, might as well get something a little bit more affordable or a lot more affordable and test it out. I'm always doing videos on affordable alternatives, so I'm a big fan of doing that. But when you say dupes, that's exactly what I mean, like alternatives. I don't like counterfeit, like illegal counterfeits that pass themselves off for something that they're not. So if this mini Kelly has like a fake Hermes stamp on it, I wouldn't be a fan of that. But if it just looks kind of like a mini Kelly and it's similar silhouette and price is much better and you can test it out to see if you even like the style, yeah, go for it. Is your daughter also a bag lover? I mean, she likes bags. She's got a bunch of bags. She has a lot of cute bags. I don't know if she's obsessed with bags the way like we are. She's still a kid. Okay, then we move into travel. Favorite places you've traveled to and the bags you brought with you. I won't remember the bags I brought with me, but I'm trying to do more travel vlogs. Not go crazy because I like to enjoy the moment and not be filming when I'm traveling, but I might do like pack with me type of thing and you'll see what I bring. So when I go to London soon, I'll show you which bags I do bring. Favorite places I've traveled to, Peru, Italy. Been to Italy multiple times because I'm obsessed. I do love London, which is why I'm going back again. I love Asia, Korea, Beijing we've been to. We're going to Japan hopefully next year. That was one of the trips that we had to cancel due to COVID. I don't know, Spain. I love Barcelona, France. We love island life too, like Bermuda, Hawaii, Cayman Islands, Aruba. I mean, we'll go anywhere. We will go anywhere. My husband has been to Africa. I haven't. I want to. It's really hard to choose a favorite place, but probably the most memorable place was Peru. And if I can choose a place that I can go to like every summer, it would probably be Italy. I love Tuscany. I love Florence. I think Florence is the most beautiful city. And we have family in South Korea, so that would probably be the top three. Any fun travel plans for 2023? Yeah, we always have some fun travel plans because we can't resist. So like I said, Korea, Japan, probably next year. We are considering Germany. I do want to take my daughter to Paris because she hasn't seen the Eiffel Tower. So that might be our next mother-daughter trip, but we will see. I want to go back to Portugal. We haven't been to Portugal in a number of years. Iceland was a destination that we canceled when I was pregnant and we never rescheduled it. So it's been like a decade. I do want to go to Iceland and I want to take the kids. And then on a smaller scale, I do want to do the Disney cruise with my kids because I feel like soon they're going to be too cool, too old for it. And I heard amazing things about the Disney cruise. And I think they just launched a new ship that is supposed to be phenomenal. I heard the shows that they put on are like Broadway level quality. The food's supposed to be amazing, all the entertainment, the activities for the kids. I heard it's supposed to be just as fun for the adults as it is for the kids. So definitely want to do a Disney cruise if we can make the scheduling happen. We're trying to see if we can go with a bunch of other families because I think it'll be more fun if we go as a group. And then I do really want to take my parents somewhere. It's been a few years since we traveled with them and they're getting older and I kind of want to do something with them, but we will see. Okay, one last travel question. Does your daughter choose your vacay destinations? I'm going to assume that this question is specific to when we do mother-daughter trips. We try to do annual mother-daughter trips. The first year was when she was 9 years old. Yes, she chose. She said, I really want to go to Italy, Mommy. You talk about Italy all the time. I want to see it for myself. Plus, pasta is her all-time favorite type of food. So we went to Italy and we did Rome and Venice and Florence. But since then, it's just kind of like we brainstormed together. We've had to become a little bit creative in the COVID years. But yeah, she has a lot of input. She's old enough now to like really say what she wants, and then I will see if it's manageable, but we decide together. Okay, and then we've got another book question. What are the top 3 books of all time, or what book has been life-changing for you for the better? It's very hard for me to pick top 3 because oh my gosh, I could make a whole video on my favorite books. I would have to make a video with like my top 25 books. I can't just pick 3. Or what book has been life-changing for you for the better? So this one here, The Power of Positive Thinking, I read this years ago. I can't let it go. Usually when I read a book, I pass it on or I sell it or whatever, I donate it, but I can't let this book go because it's really good and it really, really did seal for me the power of my thoughts and it has influenced the way I go about my life. So highly recommend this book. Okay, we've got a tea question. What is your favorite kind of tea? What's your favorite tea brand and flavor? Lots of tea questions here, my fellow tea lovers. So I'm not into caffeine. Caffeine doesn't do it for me. I do love the Tazo chai latte, but the decaf version. I got tipped off from someone who used to work at Starbucks. She was a barista there, and she said the Tazo mix, which I'll link down below in my description box so you can get it from Target, it tastes exactly the same. In fact, that's what they used to use at Starbucks. So I do that. I do love my iced chai lattes in the morning. I do my herbal teas in the evening. The brand that I really like is Kuzmi tea. I'll try to link it as well. Kuzmi. It's a Parisian brand. And I also have teas from Fortnum & Mason from London, and they taste amazing. I'm not really a tea snob. A lot of people gift me teas, and I drink every and anything given to me. Okay, then we have a couple of YouTube questions. One is, what fears or hesitations did you have when you started your YouTube channel? This person says, I always wanted to start a channel, but worried about putting myself out there. So you can put yourself out there without really putting yourself out there. Like, I keep my privacy. I also keep the best parts of my life to myself. I don't share those because those are like gold to me. I cherish those moments. So I just share what I want to share. And, I didn't really worry. The biggest worry I had was that nobody would watch me. I'd be like, I'm going to make this video and nobody's going to watch me. So what's the point? That was my biggest fear. But once you get going and you have fun with it, then the worries sort of like melt away. Would you ever consider doing a collab with other YouTubers? Yes. That is actually a really fun idea. I don't know what we would do, but I would love to do some kind of collab. I love this community, and that includes the other YouTubers, and I've really enjoyed getting to know many of them. I did do a giveaway collab. I had reached out to 4 other YouTubers, so the 5 of us got together and we gave away a Chanel card holder. I still remember it was that classic bubblegum pink caviar card holder. So we did that together as a group. But I haven't really done another collab or a true collab, so I would totally be open. Let me know if you have suggestions. Let me know in the comments. Okay, finance. Would you please do more financial videos for newly married couples? Yes, I'm happy to. Let me know what specific content that you would like or what topics you'd like me to cover. You guys know I did a recent video talking about the state of the US economy and trends in consumer spending and my thoughts on saving and investing. I do have a playlist down below titled Money and Mindfulness. So there are probably about 20 or so videos in there touching on some topics related to money, finance, things like that. But if you have specific requests on very specific topics, please let me know. All right, next, do you insure your collection? This person says, I live in an area where natural disasters are common. I always worry what I would do with my collection when we have to evacuate our home quickly. Wow. I think if I was in that situation, I would insure my handbags. I think that's what you're referring to, my handbag collection, right? Not like jewelry or other things. Or does it mean everything? Well, my answer is no, I don't insure my collection. I don't live in an area where I have to worry about those things. Thankfully, I live in Manhattan in a high-rise building with 24-hour security and a doorman. So, plus, I think if there was some kind of crazy disaster in New York, I would just run. I leave my dang handbags. I don't care. I'm going. My handbags are on their own. Now, being in Brooklyn and to get around the city, I have to use public transit. With the rise in theft, I haven't been feeling comfortable using my handbags at all. Since you're in the city, how do you go about this? Do you have any tips? Okay, so now being in Brooklyn. Okay, so I'm in Manhattan. I do know what you mean. It has gotten a bit grittier over the last couple of years. There's always been crazies and crime. But there's a vibe change in the last couple of years. I don't take public transportation. I haven't in the past year. My husband won't allow me to. I always did in the past, and I was very fine to do it. So I don't know if I have advice for you. I walk everywhere. I actually prefer to walk. Even if it's like 50 blocks, I'll walk if it's a nice day. So I'll walk or I'll take a taxi or Uber, which gets costly, but that is what I prefer to do. I'm not taking public transportation these days, so yeah. Oh, this is a fun one, and I think you guys know the answer to this already. What luxury brand would you never buy from? And I know they say never, but I know the answer. It's definitely Balenciaga. No way, not happening for me. I'm looking for the perfect everyday crossbody bag. What's your #1 recommendation? Ta-da! This one right here, the Pochette Matisse. #1 recommendation. It is easy. It's got compartments. You can find all your stuff. It's got a strap. It's like a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. If you don't want all the monogram attention, you can get the unpronounced leather version. Yep, that's my recommendation. With all the crazy price increases, do you think some of the bags are even worth it? No, some of the bags are not worth it. In fact, probably none of the bags are worth it, but we're obsessed with handbags, so we rationalize. But no, my answer is no. It's pretty simple. Your thoughts on Celine's whole collection, including ready-to-wear. You know, it's interesting that you ask this because I always said that if I were to ever have to dress myself from head to toe, like if I did shop designer ready-to-wear, which I really don't, it would be Celine because it is mostly suited to my style. Minimalist, simple, clean classic silhouettes. However, Celine has been evolving over the last couple of years, and I personally don't love the direction they've been going in. I feel like they're making some weird wonky stuff, and I think they are going through a bit of an identity crisis. So I had announced, like, I don't know, over a year ago, I think, that Phoebe Philo, we all know Phoebe Philo from the old Celine days, she apparently is now backed by LVMH, and she's supposed to debut her own namesake collection, ready to wear. But I think the timing was like, it's supposed to have happened a few months ago, and I haven't heard anything yet. So I'm like patiently but anxiously waiting for Phoebe to come through. If she comes through and she's, true to her signature style, which is very, very, friendly to the feminine silhouette, classic, timeless designs, I'm going to spend my money on Phoebe and not on Celine. All right, what is the most durable, hard-wearing bag for a mom on the go? No price cap. Ooh, no price cap. Okay, well, price I don't think is going to be that much of a barrier to my answer. Canvas, coated canvas. This was my mom bag, Tory Burch. Coated canvas, I've had this for over a decade. Look at how it looks. It's easy, it's wipeable. Those dirty little hands with snacks and snots and boogers, you can wipe it down. If it's raining and snowing, you're fine. It's easy, it's lightweight. You don't want to be lugging something heavy when you also have your kids in tow. So yeah, I think you can do coated canvas from either Tory Burch or Louis Vuitton if you want to do the Neverfull. Like, I'm not a Neverfull fan, but I understand it's a workhorse bag that works very well for many. Or do nylon. Do nylon like Longchamp. You see, these are my two Longchamp Le Pliage totes in a fun pink color, and then just the classic black color, easy. It's got the secure zipper, so you don't have to worry about like random people going into your bag when you're not looking and distracted with your kids, or your bag gets knocked over and then all your stuff spills out. No, the Longchamp can zip up and it's nice and secure. It's nice. You can put it on your shoulder and the crook of your arm. You could throw it in your stroller. I don't know what ages your kids are, but I say coated canvas or nylon. There are a few other questions that I don't think I'm going to be able to get to. I can probably make dedicated videos answering those questions, like favorite restaurants in the city. How much time do you have? Because I love to eat and I love to eat out, so that's a whole nother segment that I can do. There were a lot of requests for a little like tour of my closet, which I may or may not do. My closet is tiny, you guys, but you want to see how I organize it, so maybe. And the last question there was a question about the 5 beginner and more affordable designer bags for the beginner collector. I think that could be a whole separate video. What do you guys think? If there's enough interest down below, I will do that. And one of the questions that I skipped over, are you first generation Korean American, and is your husband as well? So my husband and I were both born in the States, so that technically makes us second generation Korean American, and our parents were first generation. All right, that is it. Woof, I think I covered at least 99% of the questions. If I skipped over yours or if I missed it, please forgive me. I will try to answer them in future videos, but I did try my best. Thank you for all the questions. They were interesting and really fun to answer, and I do hope that it has allowed you to get to know me a bit better. So I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.